Hey guys, we're coming back to answer your question for all guitar player. Yeah, you're watching me for guitar tips and hits for beginner. So this is the tips for beginner to see, show you what I use to put my guitar on the key, on computer, on PC. Firstly, I use a laptop. Okay. So laptop is an Asus one, an Asus, I don't remember the model. Normal laptop. Before putting my guitar, of course, I use this kind, the EDS Intense Music box. Okay, this is the cheapest box you can get to plug an RCA audio input on your computer. And I really recommend when you use an Asus laptop, just like that. I use that, of course. For that, I really find it really useful. You can buy it to around 30 to 40 bucks. This box is an input-output USB audio codec. Detected by Windows. You don't have any driver to install. You keep the driver by default. And with that, I use a special wire. A wire with one quarter plug for your guitar, and the jack finished with the RCA male cable. So I use that. Plug this part of the guitar and another part to one of the both channel. Prefer stereo input of the box, and then put this on the first one or the both. You can plug two guitar, one for the left and one for the right, because in FL Studio you can choose between the channel 1 input and channel 2 input. So you plug this on your guitar, plug this in this, and then plug the rest to your guitar. Maybe if you buy this box, you get the USB cable inside, and plug the USB cable inside, just like that. And you get the box for you input your guitar. But it's not over. As here come FL Studio, and here come the ASIO for All direct driver, ASIO driver that compatible with this box and your sound card inside your laptop or your PC, personal PC. Okay, first you have to looking for on the web. It's free. It's called the ASIO file driver. The ASIO file driver. You go to it's really a free driver. You go to www.asio4all.com, asioforall.com, and you download the latest driver. The latest is on the 12th of June 2010, the version 2.10 released, and you download your favorite language version of ASIO for All. And then you download this, and then you install this. Follow the installation like other program, and install this and install this. Accept the terms of the I really recommend when you install, only check ASIO for All v2. The raw shell is really useless. The offline setting, as I said, is really useless. Okay, once it's installed, I will cancel because I already got that. Got it. You open FL Studio. You hit F10 key on your computer to see the setting. You go to Audio by default. FL Studio go to input output the principal audio peripheral, and once your ASIO file is installed, you choose ASIO file v2 as main audio driver. I recommend in FL Studio to check auto close device. When you go to ASIO file, you can click the ASIO file panel that appears this, and this is the config of ASIO file. This is the panel of ASIO file. First you have to do when you install ASIO file, of course, it becomes by default simple. By default we can do complicated. By default it's come simple mode. You click a simple view or advanced option. So simple view I recommend. So when you plug your USB audio codec as your instant music, you see USB audio codec as device supported. So we get my retail high definition audio inside my laptop and USB audio codec for the instant music Stonebox, Stonebox DI box. So this is the config for easier for all. First, retail high definition audio. I recommend 0 sample for in and out latency compensation. Maybe you can get by default 16 sample, or personally I use 0 sample. I really use Realtek. Of course, it's really important to put play on it. Put it on, of course. Put it on for high definition audio or your main peripheral device, audio device on your computer. For the Realtek HD audio output, okay, I recommend to uncheck the output mode, put 0 sample on in and out. Always resample. Buffer offset to 0 millisecond if you use a Realtek chipset, but you can increase the buffer depending of your sound card. You can also check always resample between 41.1 kHz to 48 kHz. I always check force WDM driver to 16-bit, but you can uncheck this if you want. Okay. If you come and make a microphone input, you can use that for your vocals sometime. The same setting, use that. As for the USB audio codec, you have to turn it on. I really recommend to turn off the output, because you don't use the output of the device itself. Use the output of your main sound card inside your laptop or your PC. But you can use the output if you want. So your output, you get 2 RCA output stereo on it, so you can output really useful sometimes. But I recommend to turn it off the out of the USB audio codec. Turn off. You only use the input. So with the in, here's the setting. The latency compensation you leave by default 32 sample for in and out. Check the hardware buffer, doesn't always work, but I'm gonna use the hardware buffer of the device, USB device. Buffer set to maximum 20 millisecond. Check the always resample to 44. You know, always resample to check this option, and force WD1 driver to 16-bit. We recommend by default the easier buffer size to 512 samples. Try to decrease the samples and test sometimes, but you can get overload sometimes. But for this device, the USB instant music, I recommend the 512 samples. So this is the configuration of the Stonebox, the DI box instant music. For the rest, leave that by that. Make a normal priority. So if you click on you know, the mixer right there, the other mixer and take a channel on any channel mixer, you have the opportunity, once the Isiofall driver is installed, to choose the Isiofall V2 mono or Isiofall V2 stereo input. For your guitar example, I plug the guitar on a code USB audio codec 1, the left channel. So if I play my guitar, you will hear the guitar. So this is why I plug my guitar inside FL Studio, and then so if I insert some, for example, fruity reverb, I get some reverb on the laptop with reverb. So this is why I insert my plugin. For example, the kefir, or example, I can replace, I can insert preset, can replace, for example, Redesam crunch. So this is the way I work with guitar. Now I seek how to install new DLL5 as a plugin. Okay, here comes the part I explain how to install DLL5 plugin. There you go. First you have to do is to create a folder of your choice and the emplacement of your choice. So an example, in my case, make the folder in a different part of the hard drive in Bruno and my VST. I put all the DLL5 plugin just right there. So this is my folder. I put all my favorite plugins for guitar and effects and instrument as well. Okay, as for guitar, we use VST and not VSTi. VSTi is VST instrument. So we go to FL Studio and hit the F10 button, or if you want, option and general file setting. So you go to file setting, and here it comes, VST plugin extra search folder. So you can mention your own folder just right here. For example, fichier E, and then put it, mention Bruno, and of course my VST folder favorite list. So you mention your own folder just right there. First step. Second step, when you insert, for example, if the plugin is an instrument, you go to sequencer and then insert more, and then when you add new plugin, you do a refresh fast scan. Each time FL Studio will detect a new DLL5, a new plugin detected, you get it on the list in red, and then you can check this to make it available. An example for the FX, for a guitar amp example, I put my guitar amp, and then I do the same thing, clicking the arrow, just like you can select every plugin you want, but you have to do, when you add a new one, you go to more, and then refresh, fast scan, and then newer plugin will appear. FL Studio will show you that new plugin is detected just right here, and then you will see this in red on the list. So you have to check this. For example, I check the Boss DS1 pedals. Another and very I know VST and didn't use. So once I check this, you click on the arrow and you see the Boss DS1 appear on the list. So you insert this, and this is the example of the pedal I use every forward. So this is why how to add new plugin on your project.